And I'm so excited every time we have a guest who's doing a passion project. And that project ends up becoming her career or his career. Dr. Lynne, thank you so much for making time. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so now you're from LA, right?
I live in LA, yes.
You still live in LA?
I live there,
I don't know why I thought you moved back here. Moved back, you mean moved here.
No.
So tell us about Dr. Lynne. Who is Dr. Lynne when you're asked?
Well, I'm a political scientist according to my resume.
Yeah.
I'm really a policy analyst.
Yeah.
So I did my graduate work in policy analysis and political science, focusing on health policy.
Yeah.
After finishing my graduate work, I did some teaching in policy analysis. I taught college and graduate students, and still focusing on health policy.
Yeah.
And I was focused on domestic health policy in the US.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about the very complicated health system, insurance, and the various ways that we provide health care for Americans.
Yeah.
At the same time, while I was doing that sort of academic work, I was also helping run the University of Rochester. I worked in the Office of the President and the Office of the Chief Academic Officer at the University of Rochester. I did that also for about 10 years while I was also teaching.
Yeah.
And so that's my background.
Yeah. That's a lot of work.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was really great.
Okay. A lot of admin work too.
It was a lot of admin work, but it prepared me well for what I'm doing now, because
Yeah.
I had both the academic side,
Yeah.
where I could think about how we provide health care for our citizens, and I was doing the administrative stuff, which helped me think about strategic plans and budgets and the kinds of things that people who run an organization have to do that academics never think about. So I'm really grateful that I had that experience.
Yeah, that background is very, very important, because a lot of the times when people get into some projects, they don't have that sort of background. They're not sure. They get stuck when they need.
Sure. So they might have
something
one
that they
side or the other.
Yeah.
They've got the passion about a particular issue, and in my case, it was providing health care for people who
Yeah.
might not have it otherwise. But they don't have the kind of practical experience it takes to run an organization.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm lucky that I had both.
Yeah, and after 15 years of doing that job, you got over it. You were just like,
I got over it. You're right, I got over it. I loved what I was doing, but I wasn't feeling the passion for it. I didn't get up in the morning and say, wow, I'm so excited to go to the university.
Did that used to happen though, at one point?
I think it did probably for a little while.
Yeah.
But it didn't last.
Yeah.
I liked what I was doing. I liked being on a campus with the students. It's very exciting. It's nice being around smart, interesting people. But I didn't rush to work every morning.
Yeah, you were just like, ugh, here we go again.
A little bit of that.
Yeah, and for a lot of us and a lot of people, maybe you're watching right now and you feel like, I'm over this specific job that I'm doing now. I need to do something else. And looking for that something else sometimes is very difficult. Did you get that? Were you in that phase?
Yes. I really didn't know I knew I didn't want to stay where I was, but I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go. So while I was trying to sort it out, I worked on some projects with people around town and made contacts in other parts of the country and helped on with various projects. But I knew I hadn't found my thing yet. And then I ran into a colleague, and we met for a cup of coffee at a Starbucks somewhere in New York State. And he told me about his new project, and I said, oh, that's the project I want to work on, and this was it.
That was my thing. That's it. That's what I wanted to do. You're lucky. A lot of us never get the opportunity to get that.
I was lucky I found it.
Yeah.
So that was 2012.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago.
Yeah. So then you quit your job. Did you quit your job before that?
I had already quit my
okay,
job.
Fine. Oh, trying to look for the thing.
Yeah.
And then you found it.
Yeah.
You have 2 kids.
I have 2 kids.
What did they say about mom quitting her job?
I don't think they were particularly concerned or surprised.
How old are they?
Now they are 25 and 22.
So they were teenagers.
They were teenagers at
They
the time.
didn't even
yes.
care.
Yeah, they were kind of thinking about their own things. I think they were happy because when I quit my job, I had opportunity to go to their baseball games and such. So it was
We
good.
had time to hang out with mom.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. So then tell us how you were sold on this project.
Well, my colleague, my friend at the time, started talking about maternal health in Kenya. And I was just drawn into his story. And these were the kinds of things that I'd always been reading about and was always interested in and had studied in school, but I'd never done anything with. And here I was hearing it face to face. He had just come back from Kenya. He had been out in the rural areas. He was actually in Kisumu County studying the issues, trying to figure out why is it that moms here are dying at a much higher rate than moms elsewhere. Why is that true? And at first he thought it might have something to do with the fact that there weren't enough health centers, there weren't enough places for people to go to get health care in rural Kenya.
Yeah.
And he saw that the health centers were there, but the moms weren't coming in. And that's where he got stuck. So he started talking to the people in the village, the nurses, the community health volunteers, trying to solve that problem. What is going on here? So what we know is that about 300,000 women die every year from pregnancy-related causes. 300,000 a year. And we know that most of those deaths are preventable. So, you know, the 300,000 is devastating. That just shouldn't be. But when you realize that so many of those are preventable, then it gives you, while that's incredibly sad, it gives you some hope. Well, there's something, since it's preventable, there's something we can do about that. What is it that we can do to fix that problem? We have to be able to fix it. You just told me those deaths are preventable.
Yeah.
So let's prevent them. So that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, what are some of the reasons that you found when you were doing your research?
Well, let's look at why moms die. They might die from bleeding, hemorrhage. Okay, well, that's a solvable problem. Oxytocin is something you can get administered, and if you're in a health center, if you're in a hospital, a doctor can administer oxytocin, and you won't bleed to death.
But then again, if I could just stop you right there, a lot of the moms in a lot of the rural areas, they use midwives instead of doctors. Some of them even give birth when they're just alone, by themselves.
Yes, that is true.
So then in that instance, the oxytocin can't.
Exactly.
Or
That's
like
why they're not getting saved. That's why they're not getting saved. So why else do they die? Infection. Well, let's see, why did we get an infection? Now, my house is pretty clean, right? Very clean. I keep a very clean house.
Yeah.
It's not sterile, right? I have a dog running around. We track dirt in. You know, it's not a sterile place. I don't want to give birth at home. You want to give birth at a sterile place.
Yeah.
That helps you avoid infection. So if you're going to give birth at home, you're more susceptible to infection. Now also, if you do get the infection, it can be treated. There's antibiotics. If you give birth at home, you're not going to get the antibiotics, right? So you can see these deaths are preventable. Bleeding, infection, what is it called? I just forgot that. We'll go back to it.
Okay, no problem. When you remember, stop in the middle and be like, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, so but your point is exactly right. So the moms are at home. If they were in the health center or in the hospital, their lives are saved because those treatments are so easy. So why aren't they coming in?
That was my next question.
Right, what's keeping them there? Well, there are several reasons. One is it's far and they don't have a way to get there.
Okay.
That's pretty simple.
All right.
Right, in rural Kenya, the health center might be 10 kilometers away. How are you going to get there? You live up a hill and over that other hill and over there. So that's a problem. Number two, they don't have the information. They just don't. They're so far away.
They don't see how important it is.
They don't know. They don't know that those deaths, when their sister died or their neighbor died, they don't know that death could have been prevented. They just think, well, that's a fact of life. Part of life is moms die during pregnancy or during delivery or soon after. It's just part of it, and you just deal with it. So without the information, you don't really know that if you just get yourself to the health center, we might be able to save you.
Yeah.
Some of it's cultural. You know, there could be, this is just not the way we do it in our family. We haven't done it this way in our family for hundreds of years. We've always given birth at home with the traditional birth attendant. And some of it is money. So if you think that if you go to the health center and the nurse is going to try to tell you you need a medication and now you have to buy medications, and you know you don't have the money to buy the medications, why are you going to go?
Yeah.
So poverty, education, culture, and just distance, the logistics of it. That's
Yeah.
what keep moms home.
Yeah. So then your company comes in how exactly?
Well, we're trying to resolve exactly those problems that I just defined.
Yeah, okay, fine.
So how are we going to get you to the health center?
Yeah.
Well, so part of what we do is actually we just pay for your ride. If you're in an emergency situation and you need to get to a hospital to have a C-section or you're going to die,
Yeah.
well, we'll pay for the ride. So that's simple, right? That's just a transfer of cash.
Yeah.
That's the easy one to resolve. The other ones are a little bit more complicated. So
Yeah.
how do we deal with the education? Well, one thing we've done is we've created this card game.
Yeah.
I brought the cards. It comes in a little bag,
Oh, okay.
and it has the name of our program on it, Operation Karibu. And excuse me for not having great Swahili
Oh,
pronunciation.
please, it's okay. What? Why would I do that?
So-
Operation Karibu. You pronounced it really well.
Did I?
You did.
Okay.
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
thank you.
Learning Pamoja. I like it.
Yeah,
Incorporated
okay.
Swahili.
So-
a maternal health card
So
game.
the game works like this. All moms, there's 2 phases. You're holding phase 2. This is phase 1. All moms have to collect, they're going to come play this game while they're pregnant. They have to collect their 4 antenatal visit cards. You have to get 4 of these because we want every mom to come to at least 4 antenatal visits.
Yeah.
The World Health Organization wants you to come to 8, but they want you at least to come to 4.
Yeah.
So we're going to get you to understand you're not done playing this game until you've collected your 4 antenatal care visits.
Okay, so they're numbered. All right, so she's going to be taking us through the games, just so that we understand. If you're at home and you have a question, the hashtag is K24 Alfajiri. Get us on that, and we'll definitely pass on that question to Dr. Lynne at Amina_Kenya is how you can get a hold of me personally. So card number 1 is about the prenatal visits.
Right.
All right, so they're in order. Of
These will
what you
get
need
mixed
to
up.
do.
We're going to
okay,
mix
fine.
the cards before we start playing.
Okay, it's like poker. Got it.
The red cards are obstacles.
Okay.
Everybody's going to get 3 obstacles that you have to solve. And you're going to solve them with these green cards.
Okay.
So the obstacle might show, then there's pictures. In case
Yeah.
you don't read, there's pictures. And I don't read Swahili, so
Yeah.
I need the pictures.
Yeah.
And the obstacles might show a picture of your house, your home, being very far away from the health center.
Yes.
So that's an obstacle.
Yeah.
And the resolution is in here.
Yeah.
And it says arrange for transportation or save some money so you can hire a
Yeah.
ride. Okay. The obstacle might be that your family's not supportive.
Yeah. Familia yatakamama ajifungulie nyumbani kizuizi. Ah, okay.
And the solution to that is, we have solution cards about getting counseling and getting support in the health center from the nurses and the community health volunteers. The obstacle might be that you're a high-risk mom. Let me find a high-risk mom. Oh, here's an HIV positive mom.
Yeah.
That could be an obstacle. And the solution card in there is that you need to take your antiretroviral medications.
Yeah. So what are some of the obstacles that you face? One that I can see from where I'm standing. Who plays these games?
All pregnant women in the
Okay.
facilities where we work.
Yeah. Well, illiteracy is a big problem in
Sure.
rural Kenya. How do you again communicate?
That's why we
the
made the
game?
pictures.
Okay, fine. For them to see.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So actually, the first version of this, because I don't speak Swahili, the first version of this, just to get it started, was in English.
Yeah.
So nobody could read it but
Yeah.
me.
Okay. Oh, right.
But the pictures are there.
Yeah.
So this shows your antenatal visit. This shows the nurse checking you out, and you're getting weighed. You can tell
Yeah.
what's going on there, right?
Yeah.
Your mom's getting weighed.
Yeah. If you
So
see
these
that.
are the things that are happening at your antenatal visits.
Okay.
Then the second phase is about what happens after the baby's born. And the 3 cards you're required to collect is get your child immunized, hygiene, wash your hands, take
All
care of
the
the
time.
umbilical cord to prevent infections. And the third one is kangaroo care and breastfeeding.
Yeah.
So really important things. Everybody has to collect those cards, and you're also given 2 red obstacle cards that you have to resolve. So phase 2 is like phase 1.
Yeah.
And they play the game, and it's a lot of fun. And when you solve your obstacle, so you get, let's say you get the HIV card, and you have to work until you can find the HIV drugs, which is the solution.
Yeah.
When you solve the problem, you have to tell everybody in the group what you did, what your problem was, and how you solved it, so that everybody can learn from everybody else's obstacles and how
Yeah.
they resolved them. So that's the education. The education is coming in the form of a game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the nurse has the burden of having to tell you, as a pregnant mom who's already overwhelmed just by the fact that you're pregnant, she has to tell you so much information in a short period of time, and you're going to forget half of it because you're nervous. You're, you know, maybe
hormones.
Right,
There's a lot
so
going on.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
The game makes, we know from neuroscience that people learn when it's more engaging. And this makes it very engaging.
Yeah.
Moms go home from this. We have learned from our focus groups and our surveys, moms are going home from this with the lessons that we want them to go home with. So it's worked out really well.
Yeah.
So that's part of the program, is education.
So these cards, who purchases them? Do you give them out for free to the moms, or?
We give them, so far we've given them to health centers and dispensaries to have them run the games, and we're going to start giving them out to, I think we're moving the games out of the health centers now into the villages, so we might provide somebody in the village, like a community health volunteer, to run games at a church or some other kind of community meeting place.
Yeah.
So that the moms can get there easier.
Yeah. It just helps them when they understand knowledge and
So
information.
that's part
is
of it.
power.
So that's part of our program.
Okay.
And then the other part of our program, which is really important, is just an incentive to get mom to come in the door. And we do that by promising her a package of baby clothes.
Yeah. How many clothes are those?
So so she'll get a package, and it'll be a couple of onesies, a t-shirt, a little pair of pants, a hat, which is very important for a baby, and socks.
Yeah.
And here's how we do that.
When they're coming, it's okay as you take them out.
Yeah.
So when they come for the lessons, the classes, they get a chance to go with that. So that's how you reel them in.
We're actually going to give them the package of baby clothes when they give birth in the health center.
Oh.
Yeah. So come for your classes, because the classes are fun, and you'll get tea and something.
Yeah.
And then if you deliver the baby in the health center, you get the package of clothes.
Yeah. So you've talked about, a few solutions. One is the transportation, because it's too far. What about when it's expensive? Do you then also cater for their bill? Do you pay their bills?
For the
Delivery.
For the delivery. Well,
Yeah.
the delivery should be free.
Okay, fine. All right, got it.
Yep.
Okay, great. So tell us about now. This is where we can jump in. We, as everybody, people who
Yeah.
are watching right now, me, my co-host. So this also is pretty fun. So tell us about it.
All right. So everybody has T-shirts at home.
Yeah.
We all have T-shirts.
We all
you
have
at
T-shirts.
least one.
Yeah.
You
Everyone.
probably have several. We will take those T-shirts, and we have women that we've taught to create the baby clothes out of the T-shirts. This one's a onesie. How cute is that? So it was an adult-sized T-shirt, and now it's a little baby onesie with the little snaps at the bottom. So out of one adult T-shirt, you can create a couple of onesies. Obviously, these came from two different T-shirts.
Clearly.
A pair of
Because of the
socks.
color. Oh, look at that. They can't see it. You have to lift it up. But let me lift it up for you. Oh, there we go. It's okay now. They can see
Okay.
it. There.
Hat.
So there's the hat.
And a
There's
pair
the
of socks.
Oh, and that's actually a full outfit. The
Oh,
orange
this one, this obviously came from one T-shirt. So this was the pants and the shirt and the hat and the socks.
So all that came from one
From
T-shirt.
one adult-sized T-shirt.
Oh, wow. That's a full outfit that you
Yes.
changed up and made for a baby.
Yes.
Oh, that's sweet.
So-
But then the T-shirt has to be in a certain condition. Tell us
So
about it.
we have gotten great donations from people who have T-shirts that are brand new that they've never used. That's the best.
Yeah.
But we'll also take gently used T-shirts, cotton T-shirts we want,
Yeah.
and we want them to be gently used. Gently used is okay as long as it's not stained. If you don't want your own baby to wear it, we don't want anybody else's baby to wear it either. So
Okay.
it should look nice. People,
Yeah.
we are trying to make sure that we do this with a little bit of dignity. So we don't want stains on the T-shirts. We don't want them ripped. And if they've been washed 100 times, they might be a little bit too thin, so that when we start sewing it, it'll fall apart. So that's no good. So gently used. By gently used, we really mean gently used. It's
Okay.
fine if there's words on it, of
Oh,
course.
okay. So it doesn't need to be plain.
Doesn't need to be plain.
Okay.
It shouldn't say anything crass, of course, because
Yeah.
we're going to put this on a baby.
Yeah. Let's be polite.
Let's be polite. And if it has one of those decals that's sewn in on the inside,
Yeah.
that would rub on a baby, we don't want that, of course. But really, almost any T-shirt will do if it's in decent shape. So we collect T-shirts, and we bring them to our production center, and the seamstresses there make them into these wonderful baby clothes, and we package them up, and we take them to where they need to be.
And you've been doing this for 5 years now.
We've been doing it for 5 years.
How does it feel?
It feels great. The moms have really loved the program. The nurses love the program in the health centers where we work, and the community health volunteers love the program. So I'll tell you, so last month I think we gave out about 120 packs of baby clothes.
Yeah.
So we're at about that point where about 120 a month.
Who are those? Are they moms? Because I'm seeing pictures. Do we?
Oh, those are our seamstresses.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is your center, which is located in Nairobi or in Kisumu, or? Where is it
The
located?
seamstresses are working in Kiambu County.
Okay.
But most of our work that's in Kakamega County.
Ah. So how many different places do you have them at? The seamstresses? Do you only have one?
We have seamstresses in one location right now.
Okay.
But we're working in 7, we're going to be up to about 10 health centers and dispensaries
Yeah.
by the end of the month, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so very much for coming. And we appreciate you for coming through. Do you have any messages for people who are watching right now, talking about the passion projects? Because we did talk about it outside, and I was telling how my friend also quit her job because she wanted to go out there and do something that mattered and was going to impact someone's life. What do you have to tell our viewers about that?
Well, you have to do what you love.
Yeah.
You want to be able to get up in the morning and be excited about what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And you might not know what that is when you start out, but you'll know it when you see it. I think that's really critical. You'll definitely know you're in the right place when you get there. So, and I have found that I'm in the right place now. So we're really excited about the work we're doing. As I said, we have about 120 births a month now.
Yeah.
120 moms are getting these clothes for their babies. And I think we had about 700 women come in for prenatal visits last month.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of impact we're having now, about
Yeah.
700 women a month.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Which is tremendous.
That is huge. When you started out, there must have been some sort of apprehension. They didn't want to, they didn't understand it, they didn't know what you're coming to tell them. You're coming to change their system and their style. Was there a bit of that?
No.
Okay. Really? Were they all
Really-
receptive?
It was really very well received from the very
Oh,
beginning.
that's great.
Yeah, instantly,
Yeah.
moms wanted to come in and get the baby clothes because they're fun. The
Yeah.
clothes are fun.
Yeah.
And the nurses were very grateful for that. They
Yeah.
were, waiting for the moms to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was very well received from the beginning.
That's
So, we've worked and worked and worked with the community health volunteers and the
Mm-hmm.
nurses and the clinical officers and the moms to figure out how to make the program better. They told us, we want we want a couple of shirts instead of just onesies. They want a couple of shirts that don't snap at the bottom. So, we changed up the package.
Yeah.
We want, make sure we all get socks. Okay, we're making sure you get socks. We get feedback about the game.
Yeah.
They completely own the program.
Oh, okay.
None of this comes from us. This
Yeah.
all comes from them.
Yeah. And
What-
through the go ahead, finish.
No, I was just going to say this.
Yeah.
The program is about the community.
Yes.
And none of this comes out of our heads. It all comes out of what the people in the community have told us they need.
Yeah. So now, you said that before you started the clinic, 300,000 moms were dying. Now with 5 years of you being in this, has that number gone down?
I sure hope so.
Okay. So you haven't done a follow-up research.
Well, that's, I'm talking about worldwide.
Oh, okay. No,
data.
you're in Kenya. Okay, got
I'm
it.
talking about worldwide data,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
So, and ideally, we'll have this program all over the world and we can
Yeah.
have that kind of impact.
Yeah. So far, you only have it here in Kenya? Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. So you're sort of going to branch out. And your colleague actually
We
is from
would
West
love to.
Africa.
Yes, he is.
So, it
He's
would
from
be great.
Cameroon.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll also get a chance
We
to.
would love to be able to move around
Yeah.
at least move around Africa.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of need.
Yeah.
There's an awful lot of need. Most of those deaths are in Africa.
Yeah.
So we've got work to do.
Yeah.
We've got our work cut out for us, but we would love to be able to continue to do it for a long time.
Yeah. But so far you're only in the western part of this country, right? In Kenya, right?
Yeah, in Kiambu.
Okay. Kiambu as well?
And in Kakamega.
All right,
yes.
fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lynne, for sharing your
Thank
story.
you
Thank
for
you so much
having
for
me.
quitting your job.
Happy that I did
Thank
that.
you so much.
Thank you.
All right, time now to find out what is trending around the world on Twitter.